That's
we
our
don't have to
flavor.
curse.
We're PG-13.
I'd agree.
We're Happy Gilmore in the 90s and Major
Yeah,
Payne.
definitely PG-13. I don't think we go
PG-13.
there. Like,
I don't think we're
explicit.
PG. We're PG-13.
13, yeah.
PG-13.
We don't get
You mean
explicit.
we're literally 7th graders?
Yeah.
13-year-olds?
Yeah, we're.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Yes.
Zoe has to keep it PG. We can keep it PG-13. They always ask if when we do acting scenes, they're like, "Mister, it's like, can we use guns?" And I'm like,
yeah.
no.
No.
And it's like, why? And I'm like, have you ever heard of school shootings? I'm like, probably
yeah.
not a good idea to be reenacting it in the classroom. And he's like, why do you care? And it's like, why do you want me to lose my job?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, no, you can't pretend to pull out a gun and shoot
Everybody.
people in the class.
Yeah.
But they all want to do it. And people were like, well, what's their home life like? And I'm like, dude, they're 12 and
kids.
13. They're
We
just
all
kids.
played
yeah.
games.
We
They
all
just wanna
played
have
that.
Fun. Absolutely.
You can't eradicate a boy's rowdiness. It annoys me, but I don't want to eradicate it. I just don't want to be around it as much sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
It gets a little annoying.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So,
Yeah.
dude, you're thinking about going up. We were just talking about that. He's thinking about going up north
Yeah. Might have
to do.
might have a school up there. That's kind of near the Bay Area.
Got it.
So
Got it.
It's kind of a little hood, but mixed at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both in the school, and supposedly have problems and things like that. So they need something that's going to help the kids to stop bullying, because a lot of bullying is going on at the school.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like every school, public school, is like a hood school, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter where it's at. Dude, every public school, it's like, it's in the hood. It's like, where's it
Yeah.
at? It's like central Nebraska. And be
Exactly.
like, is that
Exactly.
the hood? It's like, it becomes the hood
Easily.
once it's public school. Because,
Yeah.
dude, I was walking in the hallway one day, and a kid was trying to take another kid's socks off.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, what the prison ritual is this?
Wow.
Like,
He was trying to take his socks.
yeah, he was trying to take his socks off. Like, you've seen crazy
that's,
stuff.
That's really bad. I've been on a bus in Chicago and someone tried to take my shoes.
On the bus, it's like, dude, we're not stopped yet. I can just climb
Exactly.
over the seat and get them back.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, they chased me for Jordans. In Chicago,
In Chicago and Jordan's,
they will
yes.
rob you for Jordans.
You know what the
100%.
craziest
Yeah.
part is when you actually look at the old retail price of Jordans,
Yeah.
they're almost the same as it is now.
Yes.
They haven't
changed.
So when
Probably
we're
it's
talking,
probably more actually.
yeah, so you're talking 1990, 1991, something that cost $120 would be the equivalent of something probably $250 now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really think that
Let me see here.
Because I feel like it would have been even more, like 300 now.
Let's see.
But yeah, Jordan's.
Now Jordans are expensive. I've always had Jordans, and they always cost the same amount. I actually think it's way more. I think it's way more now, though.
They gotta
Depending what you're trying to compare it to.
150.
Okay. Yeah.
150.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not-
That's the average Jordan
That's
price.
not that bad. I mean, that's like a trip to the grocery store. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
You
the
just don't
average
eat
price.
for a week, and then it's like, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, yeah, because what you had to go through to get Jordans, it's like walking around with PlayStations on your feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like a toy.
I remember this guy trying to steal my Jordans. Yo, give me your shoes. I said, bro, you don't even fit them. I'm like, I wear a size 6. So what size you wear? 11.
There you go.
I'm like, no.
His toes just
Yeah,
bulge out.
exactly.
It's like in movies where someone turns into a werewolf and the clothes rip. It's like,
Yo, that was scary. It's so scary.
So shoes that cost $120 in 1992,
Yeah.
that'd be the equivalent of spending $277
Oh, wow.
in January of 2025.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Shoot.
you're right, dude.
Okay.
It's almost like walking around with old 2 PlayStations, like a PlayStation on your
Yeah.
and a Nintendo 64 on the other foot.
Exactly.
Dude, I grew up around like a lot of like southern kind of like it's southern Illinois. I forget you went to college down there.
Covered it, yeah.
But with kids, with us, it was like Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirts were kind of like the white trash Jordans. Like an Austin 316 shirt
Yeah.
was kind of like having Jordans but for rednecks.
I remember that shirt.
I remember we were by
Yeah.
the pitching machines play like when I played baseball,
Yeah.
and my friend Jordan, he got in a fight with this kid named Andrew that was also another one of my friends. And he ripped his Stone Cold shirt, and I remember the direct quote that came out of his mouth. He's like,
What?
"You just ripped my Stone Cold shirt." He goes, "That cost $20." And they started like,
How dare you?
fighting, which is so crazy. So it's like, what do kids? Because now that we're all like teaching, what do they actually wear? Like, what's their sacred? Is it? I guess it's Jordans.
Vans. Kids still wear Jordans, but a lot of kids wear Vans too.
But like,
depends the area though.
But what's like the sacred clothing to where it's like if you get mud on it, like they'll throw down?
No, none of them. Not at my school.
Not at my school either.
Really?
I don't think they care about clothing. They kind of stripped that.
They're wearing all black.
They're not allowed to wear
ones.
whatever they want.
That's
Yeah.
the
Air Force
the
Ones.
shady.
Air Force
That's
The black
the shoe
ones?
of the shady.
The black
the
ones?
all black ones.
Yes. Yep.
That's
Yep.
for people
Yep.
doing
Yes. Air Force
shady
Ones.
things.
Yes, even the white ones, but they're dirty.
Yeah.
The Air Force Ones
Yeah.
are dirty.
You got Air Force Ones,
Yeah.
the Dunk Low Pandas, right? The black and white ones.
That's right.
And then you got like Vans. You'll see some Jordans at my school every once in a while. Usually like the 4s, maybe the 5s or whatever, or maybe the 3s and the 4s. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the really high end Jordans. I did see a kid with a couple of years ago. I had a kid with a shoe game where I was like, and his mom got him into shoes and was just mine.
Yeah, or they dad.
She was probably dressing him like his
Yeah.
stepdad or something,
Yeah.
or the guy who left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever see that meme? That's one of the funniest
That's
memes.
the funniest meme. But it's true.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Single mom. What was it? Single moms.
What's the meme?
Dress. Single moms dress their young boys like the men who left them.
It's true.
It's literally
though.
the kids have.
I agree. I agree.
It's
they're wearing
100% true.
Jordans.
Yeah.
Nice hat. The
Yeah.
bill's not broken.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. When the kid loved the X.
Yeah, it's like the making of a monster.
Yeah.
You know, because he's probably, but yeah, it's wild though because the stuff that kids obsess over now, I don't even really know. I just know that they say stupid stuff. Like, you know, everybody has like the phrases at their school. I don't know what they're saying at your school, but at middle school they say 6'7". Are they just randomly saying 6'7" now?
6'7"?
Have you heard this?
No.
They'll go 6'7", and then I'm like, I go, why do you guys say 6'7"? And they're like, oh. And I was like, did I just say something profane? And I
Are they
didn't realize
gangbanging?
it?
What is it? Is that a sign or something? 6'7"?
I don't. It might be a gang that they're in or something. And I see spray painted on my Mazda 6'7". It's like because I gave one of them an F or something.
Yeah. See.
No, they yell out 6'7". It's not a gang though.
I wonder if it's some subliminal thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you stupid.
Well,
6'7".
They're saying it across boards because other teachers are commenting on our videos and saying 6'7"
Really?
on our videos.
Oh, it's
It's a rap lyric.
no. It deals with sex.
It says sex?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
It means
So,
sex.
No,
6'7".
something I'm not going to get into.
Oh.
As it refers to a sexual position.
Okay.
Whoa, what is that though?
Yeah, I'm like, what position could that be?
6'7". I know 6'9". But I mean, what's 6'7"?
I don't even know.
Okay.
But they yell out 6'7", and then they yell out what's the other one that they're yelling out at my
trying
school?
to figure out what 6'7" means.
Skibbity toilets in the past. That's done.
Yeah.
Sigma's kind of done.
No, I know it's bigger to our school.
What's that?
You ready?
Yeah.
Locked in.
Locked in?
Yep.
Ops. That's another one. Too.
The
Ops.
kids love saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna lock in."
Yeah.
You know?
I say
Yeah.
that I actually say that to the kids.
Oh yeah.
Lock in. You got lock in.
Yeah,
Commit,
I think
lock
that's a good
in.
one.
Yeah.
It's a
I
great
tell
way to
kids all
say
the time.
focus.
Yeah,
That transcends
absolutely.
generations.
Absolutely.
Good boy. Have you heard that when people go, good boy? Are they saying that at your school?
No.
So I was like, I thought it was just at my school. They'll say that to each other. They'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, good boy. And I was like, what are you
No,
guys saying that?
they're just being mean.
Yeah,
That's not something cool.
No,
Yeah,
but then teachers started saying it in my comments. Good boy, and I go, are they saying that at your school too? So apparently across the board, middle
Good
schoolers.
boy, really?
Yes, it's a new thing.
Good boy.
And like I asked this kid today, I go, why are you saying that? He goes, we just say it anytime somebody does something that we want them to do. We say that.
Good
Like,
boy.
It's like a dog. Huh. But they say it to each other.
So see,
And
there's
they-
no way you can say it to a kid. Good boy. It's just like gonna be too bad to say to a kid though. Good
Yeah, well,
boy.
yeah. So it sounds like you're rubbing the top
Yeah,
of their
yeah,
head. But
exactly.
that's kind of what they get at.
Maybe. Yeah, it still sounds so derogatory.
It's very derogatory.
It sounds very derogatory.
Good
I thought that they were
boy.
I thought that they were actually being like offensive, and then I saw all of them saying it to each other, and they all do it.
I don't know. Good boy sounds like something obedient, follows the rules. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they said. I asked this kid. I almost said his name. I'm glad I stopped myself.
You're a nice guy. You know what I'm saying?
Nice
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little pushover.
Pushover. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about going up to that school up. No, well, not you, but sending instructors up there, and you were looking at the reviews.
Well, yeah, look at the reviews, and it's funny.
So super quick, backtrack just so people know what we're talking about. Okay. Zoe was saying that he is going to go up north to that school to do like an after school theater program, and he started looking at the reviews on Google. And it was all kids leaving the reviews.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this because they dealing with a lot of bullying. It just please read that.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, read that.
My
Okay.
favorite part is that actually could have been a 2-page essay in Times New Roman 12 double.
Dude, I'm going to use this for my college paper and just format in APA format.
Bro, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
7th grader wrote it.
Yeah.
This school has a lot of fights. It's crazy.
Okay, I love it. So
Yeah.
the kids
Are we
being
breaking
honest.
this apart?
Yeah,
Are we going to do?
so.
Are we going to do?
Let's dissect it.
Let's dissect it.
Okay.
This school has a lot of fights. It's crazy. That's every school.
Yeah. Really? Every school had your school has a lot of fights?
Growing up, yeah, my school had fights for sure.
Your school now? Cause my school, when I grew up, my school had a lot of fights.
There used to be a lot of gang members at my school because
Yeah.
their parents were in gangs, and so
Yeah.
they'd send their kids were like little miniature teardrop versions of themselves.
Okay.
And so, but I think since they kind of fixed that, I don't know how they fixed the problem.
Yeah.
Probably just pushed them out to another school.
Okay.
But I think it started to de-escalate, but I don't know about your school.
My school, I mean, normal amount of fights.
Which is?
Once a week, month.
Well, at my current school, 2 to 3 a day probably.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
Dude,
That's a
there's
lot
stuff-
of fights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kids
maybe I
are
should
getting
hear about it.
involved. If I had to guess, those counselors at my school and the dean of students and all, they're just putting dumpster fires out every day. That's why we're all exhausted. I don't even want. We were sitting in the break room waiting for pizza to come to parent teacher conference, and just all the teachers started talking, and we're like, you just looked at every teacher just
wore out.
Yeah, they start to look like characters from like Resident Evil. They're just like zombies.
I don't know. Maybe I bet there's at least one fight a day.
Interesting.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, our school's big too. I just don't really hear about it because I don't go into the teacher's lounge anymore. I sit in my classroom and I sit in the dark on my break
And tap.
because I just have to.
And then you're tapping, right?
Yeah,
I would
meditate and tap on my
I would
head.
be afraid to get in a fight in elementary school right now because everything's online. They go
yeah,
live.
if you lose?
Yeah, it's on live.
If you
It's
lose it, it
on-
goes viral?
Yes, it's online. They go on live with it. They send videos back and forth to different people. And
Dude, that's crazy.
It's bad.
Well, our school, I mean, they did ban phones, and I haven't really been seeing them a lot. But there's definitely kids who have phones.
Absolutely.
But dude, to lose a fight and go viral, that'll screw up your self-image. It's like a middle school.
That's gotta be the worst thing in the world.
Dude, forever to be known as like the guy who got his like
butt whip.
Yeah, by Corey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
In
especially-
after fourth period.
Yeah. about
Or
look-
that becomes the igniting thing to actually help the kid reach greatness because they reach deep down. They're like, I'm never
Right.
going to go back to that.
Like
shame
Eminem in
and
8
guilt."
Mile.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
They just become like, next thing you know, it becomes
Yeah.
like the greatest UFC fighter of all
Yeah.
time or something.
Right, totally. Yeah.
the
and then
one that
he's-
lost or the one
Yeah,
that
the
won?
one that lost.
The one that lost. Yeah, he's
I
got his
say
bully
that,
tattooed
but
on
the
him.
truth, but the truth of the matter is, the one who lost ends up developing a drinking problem.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. We sell the anomaly to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody,
To everybody.
the outlier, but then the real story on average is never the same.
Well, it's usually a wide gate
Yeah.
that most people go into.
Yeah.
You know, they don't expel students no matter how many fights they get into.
awesome. So
That
this
sounds
kid,
true. That's actually a true thing.
That's true.
This kid is
now
very
that doesn't make sense to
self-aware.
me. Yeah.
and that's the thing. The kid doesn't even know why.
Yeah.
Because it's because of all the lawsuits and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
With
Right.
expelling kids.
Expelling kids.
Well, because the parents don't want to be around some of these kids either. Because the parents don't know how to raise them, I think is what's going on, right?
So that kid is very aware that, like, yo, this isn't normal.
Yeah. Why is this happening? Yeah.
And that's
Kinda
public
sucks.
schools.
there was one time where this yard teacher called my mother for no reason. It's an exclamation point. This is where the kid is starting. This is
No reason.
where we know it's a kid.
Kid, what did you really do? Nothing. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, the kids famous words. If you could if they all had a tattoo of their biggest quote on their
Yeah,
back, it would
yeah.
be "I didn't do anything."
Yeah.
And it's like today there was a kid that was talking. I go, hey, quit talking.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm not even talking. And I literally watched. It's like your video.
Exactly. It's like your video.
Don't believe your lying eyes. I literally watched him.
Yeah.
And you sometimes do wonder. You hear that so much. It's a negative affirmation. You're like, am I going crazy?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, is my brain making up stuff? Am
Yeah.
I like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind and I'm schizophrenic and this kid's not really talking?
It's funny because I saw a kid push another kid today, right? And I saw it like out of my side of my eye. And so the kid walked up to me and said, yo, Jonathan pushed me. And I said, Jonathan, did you push him? He's like, no. I'm like, Jonathan, I just saw you push him. I just saw you push him, Jonathan. He's like, oh, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, I totally
just saw you do it. Yeah.
What do you do when kids like tattle like that? Do you, because dude, kids, it starts to stop in 6th grade, but the tattling is insane.
Yeah.
In elementary school.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, what, really?
Well, dude, when I was subbing all the time, because it was like constant all day long, they'd come up and be like, he's cussing over there. And I'd be like, is it an emergency? Be like, I don't really need to know about it, buddy. And they'd be like, he said the cuss word again. I'd be like, I just told you I don't need to know about it. It's like, but he won't stop cussing. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I can't arrest him. I can't call the feds.
It's like, what can I do? He can't get
you're just like,
suspended. Yeah. I don't know. That's a tricky question. That's a really tricky question.
Do you?
But I hear it all the time.
Do you try to put out the fire when they do it?
I try to. Well, one time, one of my instructors got mad because they said one of the kids called one of the girls ugly and fat, right? So he said, and so my instructor got mad at the kid, and the kid mom came to pick them up, and then the mom came back like, "Why did you talk to my son like that?" Because the teacher told him like, "Don't you ever talk to girls like that." But what happened was the girl started talking to him bad. Like, you're ugly. You're so ugly. You're so ugly.
Yeah.
And you're fat and ugly. So
kids do that.
Yeah. So the mom like, yo, my son only said something because these girls said something to him first. And she's like, okay, I didn't know that. Okay. But that makes sense.
Dude, what if there was a show on ESPN to where you just refereed like arguments between kids and it's like, all right, go. And then they just awarded points to each one because it's like so never ending. It'd be the most exhausting show. You'd watch it. It'd be a great way to put yourself to sleep.
Facts.
Because you just be like,
the amount of lying, the lies upon lies that some of these kids will come up. I remember.
Do you think they believe them?
Do you want to know the funny? I was actually in the dean's office sitting there talking about one student who lied, and the kid just happened to walk in. And so we catch him in that lie. Another teacher walks in, caught him in another lie.
Oh, wow.
We figured out that this kid had told, like, he was trying to tell, because he didn't see the other teachers, right? So it just became a lie, trying to cover up for another lie. And then the other teacher was walking it, and it was just compiling.
And he just kept lying.
He kept lying the whole time.
Did anybody, like, how do they even get to the bottom of it? Because it's just
because
swimming
we were
in
all
lies.
there. And we could just go, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, and just break it
down. Did he
down.
ever fess up to it, or did he just keep doubling down and like?
At a certain point, there were 3 adults around him.
Like, we know you lie.
Like, literally, liar.
Why'd you lie?
So they called my mother for no reason. I was going to the bathroom when groups of students were running in the hall where I was at. And that teacher, not going to say his name in parentheses, this kid's smart, called my name. So of course I walked up to him. He told me to dial my mom. I said, I didn't do anything. I said, I didn't do anything. I'm telling you, dude, kids like just love to say that. I said, I didn't do anything.
Maybe it's time that this kid's telling the truth. Maybe he's telling the truth.
Maybe he is, but anytime I hear that, I didn't do anything, I'm like, if I was like a jury, I'd be like, give him life in prison.
Kids are so bad that when they become defensive immediately, that's usually the tell that they've been doing something.
That's why people don't trust
defensive people. Have you guys ever been wrong? Well, you thought a kid did something and you were wrong about it.
But I was able to correct it very quickly.
Okay.
But you know what it was?
Okay.
But
I apologize to kids when I do that.
But it's very rarely been a kid that all the kids that are defensive, usually, even if they're not fully responsible, they're partly responsible for something.
Okay, they did something.
Yeah.
Not the bad thing, but they did something.
But it's very rare that a kid gets really defensive and
I've never met a kid who's universally sweet all the time because your frontal lobes are not formed. Like anytime I give someone like Catholic Church sainthood, and I'm like, that kid's going on a stained glass window.
Yeah.
They do something that's demonic, like very shortly after.
Facts.
Like there's this kid that I'm like, dude, that kid is such a good kid. He could do no wrong. He's so sweet. He's a 6th grader. And this girl goes, we were doing like, I was having them act out what their dream was because I was trying to inspire them. And she goes, my dream is to be a teacher. And then he goes, teacher's pet. Like whenever she like walked up there, and he started being like, he's like, it's pathetic. A teacher's pet. She's pathetic. And was just saying that. And I was like, dude, this kid's a monster too. I was like, he's in prison for a reason, meaning he's in elementary school for a reason. But so he called my mom 3 times. What the heck is wrong with him? He said. He asked what my dad's number is. I said, my dad doesn't live with me. That's not funny, but it's very, he gave the school 1 star.
It's facts. My dad, I don't know. I don't know who my dad is.
My daddy left us.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
now it's a sad.
He left and never came back home. Yeah.
It's like that scene in Liar Liar. She goes, what's your daddy do? He goes, my daddy's a liar. She goes, oh, you mean a lawyer? I said, my dad doesn't live with me. He looked at me like I was lying. Then he said, is there anyone I can call? And then he put that all exclamation points. Little did he know, and he puts this all in caps, he didn't notice that there was a fight going on in the hall. By the time he was done trying to call my mom for no reason, the fight ended, and everyone ran. This is very disappointing. He obviously knew I wasn't the only one going to the hall, and still he chose to get me in trouble instead of getting the other students that were fighting. This is so kid-like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm not going to lie, it is kind of cute. I will most definitely will never come back to this school again. I am transferring. I will not recommend this school to anyone. There are kids who are selling drugs, smoking/vaping in the bathroom, students being disrespectful and not letting the other students learn anything.
Ooh, I love it.
He
This
said,
kid
what?
actually sounds
He's
like
actually a smart kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this kid actually also sounds like
He's intelligent.
Snitch.
Yeah.
He sounds like a snitch.
Snitches are smart. They do get stitches, but they're also intelligent.
But the
it's a
kid's
young
really
snitch. Yeah,
upset
no,
because
yeah.
I see what the
It's a
kid.
great rap name, Young Snitch.
Snitch.
Young snitch.
What were you saying?
But that kid does get that all of the stuff that's going on in that school is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know? And I do
Yeah.
like seeing that because it's crazy. Like one of the kids today at school got caught vaping. And you know how they got caught vaping?
How?
They were leaving a classroom in the elementary charter school that's next to us. They took a hit of their vape, and a little kid saw it, and then the middle school went like this. Shh.
Ooh.
That little kid went to their teacher. That teacher came over
Fast.
and took care of it.
Did y'all suspend the kid? Or y'all just
I
took
don't
the
know
vape?
what's going to happen. Usually I don't find out
I don't
discipline
either.
wise.
I just report it.
You know, I don't
because
get-
we're mandated reporters.
Really?
Like all
Yeah,
of us.
yeah.
If we
Me too, yeah.
if we work around kids and anything could be dangerous. Like we're mandated to report it. We have to.
We are too.
We could get in trouble,
Yeah.
like from the law, even if we don't.
Nah,
you
we
know?
are too. But speaking of vaping, what is the big thing with vaping now with kids?
Oh, it's an easier way to get weed.
Yeah, and
No,
and
but
also
sometimes
too,
it's just regular vapes. It's not even weed.
it's just marketed to them.
Yeah,
dude.
it's just vapes.
Remember when smoking was marketed to kids? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and it wasn't during our lifetime, but it was. We see the
I
old
would just,
ads.
dude. I think it's even more simple than that.
Well,
Kids in middle school, starting around 6th grade and 7th grade and
Open
8th
back up.
grade, the things that you say are bad, that's what they want to do. The things that's supposed to be, hey, you're supposed to wait till you're older to do it, now they want to do it.
yeah.
Dude, that's the Garden of Eden
it's a
for
cool-
7th graders.
It's
It's
a
just
cool
a
thing.
it's a vape hanging from a tree. That's the Garden of Eden for 7th graders. Is a vape hanging from the tree. That's the day after. Okay, for not letting the other students learn anything, they give us exhibition projects the week before exhibition night. The day after exhibition, we are studying for finals. Is this high school or is
That was
this
elementary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is elementary.
Yeah, this is
Dude, this
kids
kid
in
is
7th grade.
smart.
Yeah.
Students pushing each other in the halls. 7th grades picking up... Oh, wait, it is middle school. 7th grades picking up fights with 6th graders. This is chaotic. This school need to be better. I feel so sad for teachers that have a hard time teaching the students because of their behavior. He spelled there, T-H-E-R-E. Dude, I love this kid.
Yeah,
This
it's
kid is
cool.
adorable
Yeah.
and sweet and awesome. These students come here because they hear H-E-R-E This school is ghetto. They have a lot of fights, so they come here and like hands up.
You know why? Because it's the truth.
It's easy.
School,
That is true.
Yeah.
They I remember being deep in the hood. School, half a mile apart. They go, yo, mister, I don't want to be at that school. It was a nicer school because that school sucks. They make you do work.
Yeah.
So for kids like that, they're like, no, the best school is the one where I could just be myself.
It's chill. That's crazy.
So we get certain kids that transfer to our school because they get
opportunity transfers.
That's what it's called, right? Opportunity transfers. So the kids who get in trouble a lot, and I'm like, this kid's new, and then all of a sudden I'll start seeing erratic behavior on day 2, and then I pull up the contact log, and then I see like the mug shot sheet, basically to where like all the teachers say the stuff that he did, like, oh, he like put rat poison in my turtle's food bowl or whatever, and I'm like, oh, this isn't even at the same school. No one actually did that, but you'll see.
But why did they get transferred to this school instead of a bad school?
Probably to get him away from certain kids that they think might be emboldening his behavior would be my guess. / the school is just tired of. Dude, we had a school super quick. We had a school. There was a girl at our school before I came there. She caused such a problem that there was a chopper hovering above the school. There was a helicopter. I don't know what happened, but she called the cops, made up some story and something, and so there was a thing, and she pepper sprayed another student, and I don't know the ins and outs, but they said that there was like a helicopter above the school.
That's big.
It's insane. But they transferred her to another school. So,
and remember,
it's sad too.
Yeah,
it's sad. I feel bad for the kid, but it's like.
But it's the kid's fault, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I still feel sorry for him.
I still feel sorry for the kid, too, but where are the parents at? That's my question.
I'm mad at the parents.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
Yeah, and, the whole opportunity transfer, right?
Is that one of those politically jargonistic words?
They're moving you to a different school because they can't expel you. So you haven't done enough to get expelled. So people
it's an opportunity transfer.
You have to
That's
kill
so
somebody.
stupid.
You have to literally kill somebody to be expelled from public school.
And even then, they probably have you go online from your jail cell.
Or you have a really bad fight. You don't think the really bad fights with bloody noses and the person got to go to the hospital or something?
No. That
really?
won't even get you transferred to another school.
No, it won't. It won't.
You may not even get suspended.
The laws in California now with like expelling and all that kind of stuff is crazy.
So you telling me kids don't get expelled by having a fight in school?
No.
Wow.
You probably got to bring. Well, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Never mind. But yeah, you knew what I was gonna say. You probably got to do that.
Wow. That's crazy. I would think they would get.
Oh yeah, dude. They can bring all kinds of drugs, everything to school. They won't even get suspended.
They could shoot up in the bathroom, and they'll probably be like, "You don't get to go to the Scholastic Book Fair."
Yeah. But you don't get suspended. You just get sent home for the day.
That's why kids do it, because they don't get expelled. They just go get talked to, get a slap on the wrist, and I'm gonna do it again.
No repercussions, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard sometimes, even as a teacher, to do stuff. Chris is really good about this. I'm in my first year, but it's like they're like, you can give kids lunch detention, but dude, I'm so exhausted by lunch. I don't want
kids around you.
I don't want kids around me.
Absolutely, you need your break. Yeah.
Yeah, I need that break, and now I got this kid who, you know what I mean, like made like a fur coat out of like rat fur, and like now I gotta like sit and eat my burger across from him.
And watch him.
Yeah, watch him. And
I don't want to detract too much from what we're reading, but that actually brings up a really good point.
What's that?
When you're talking about lunch, we call them lunch intervention because I have the kids doing that.
Why can't they call it just detention?
Because that is now against the law.
To say detention?
Dude, you can't have detentions anymore. It's against the law.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Yep.
That's so stupid.
Thank you, Governor Newsom.
Wow, interesting.
That's insane.
So we have
dude.
lunch intervention, which the kids are usually behind, right?
Yeah.
That are causing problems. So they come in and then they're just working on iReady, which is helping them to get to grade level. So it's just extra time.
Interesting.
And so it has to be productive.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is meaningful consequence. Ready? When you have every kid, now not every kid, most kids have a consequence that will change their behavior. You just have to find it. That's the problem, dude. With like
it's like the game Operation. You poke it till it lights up.
Yeah, when we're dealing
it's like,
with
does that hurt?
30 some kids for you for like 40 or
40
whatever
an hour.
It is very hard to have to call
thing.
parents, families,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, brainstorm ideas, and then because there are some kids that think about this. that 30 seconds of them goofing off in class and getting the attention and making people angry or upset or whatever it is in class is so important to them that they are willing to risk losing 30 minutes of their lunchtime. To your average brain, that is incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Why would I want to be away from my friends? Whatever. And guess what? They'll do that every single day and be with you in lunch every single day just to have that 30 seconds to a minute. But you got to find the meaningful thing, and you got to contact parents. That's dude. Hopefully,
and it's like, dude,
and some kids don't. Some kids literally don't have. There's nothing that'll change their behavior. You can't.
It's too exhausting to be a detective, though, dude. Because now I feel like I got like the witnesses pinned to the wall, and I'm like smoking a cigar and being like looking at his biopic and like his rap sheet.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
bad parenting. Yeah. Why do I have to go?
Why do I have to do all
Absolutely.
this?
Yep.
Why you not doing this at home?
But
some kids just gotta accept it's just who they are.
Man, I feel you guys on the frustration right there.
but the thing that sucks, dude, is like, so the reason why I think I've gotten burnt out this first year is because I'm not saying this to, like, I'm an empath. I hate it when people say I'm such an empath, but like, I'm empathetic. I can look at someone, like there's a kid that just got transferred, and he was like trying to be funny in front of the class, but I could tell like it was like awkward and forced.
Yeah.
And I immediately felt like I knew who he was. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can pick up things with kids and kind of see. There's very few kids that I look at and be like, they're a total sociopath. There's one kid that I do think is a legit psychopath that I've met in the school. Maybe two, actually. But for the most part, and I've met a ton of kids, and I really do think that there's like something like they lack empathy.
Yeah.
I've met two kids like that. For the most part, I can look at every kid and be like, he's not a bad kid. He's mixed up.
Absolutely.
And so, but having that amount of empathy and wanting to help like kids all day long when they're coming in your classroom and just like tearing it up if you don't like lay down the law, it's exhausting.
It is.
And then after a while, that empathetic side, you almost have to shut it off, and it sucks because you're not going to be able to keep teaching. Well, I feel like
empathy doesn't change the child's behavior. I feel really empathetic towards their behavior.
That's kind of what I mean by shutting it off. It doesn't mean that you don't care, but it's like
you have
to
know
why he's doing it. Yeah,
because
you can't get too
change
invested
the
in
behavior.
Nah, absolutely.
No, it doesn't
at all. That's the part that all the people think that'll read all the books and all that. No, you know what changes behavior, guys? Pain changes behavior all the time.
You sound like they do from Full Metal Jacket. You're like pain, and then he just grabs a machine gun.
The thing is, but pain.
But I agree with you, dude.
But how do you feel pain? You can't get like spankings anymore. No one's whipping a kid.
No.
So what else? Can
I know
what
you mean.
Yeah.
But what gives a kid pain? Though?
That's what I mean. Is finding for each kid. Some kid, it's actually losing only 5 minutes of their 5 minutes of their lunch. They're like, man, I never want that because that feels painful to them.
I got you.
So then,
calling home.
You almost have to find.
Some people.
It sounds weird to say. You actually have to find the kid's pain threshold.
Okay.
Where it tips.
Where it hurts.
It hurts. Like today, the reason why I bring this up, guys,
my pain is my daddy.
Is because yes, dude, exactly. But today I found out with this one kid.
Yeah.
He's the he'll take 30 seconds of your time. He'll for losing 30 minutes doesn't mean anything. He found out today what it is. If you take it away from him, it actually made him start to cry.
What was it?
I do like yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
He had been working really hard to make a soccer team. And so he has to maintain.
You have to become the Grinch and take it away.
No. I found out through his family.
If he mess up, he can't get.
No. What happened is they said because he messed up last week, they forced him to sit out the first game and not play.
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah,
that would hurt me too.
Yeah,
and so when he was sitting there and then I go, well, you know what? I think you guys have found that point, you know? And I go, man, I'd really hate for you to lose more of your soccer games.
Ooh, you could do that
and you just could see, like, the tears almost, like, welling up in his eyes.
Yes.
Good. I know people are like, that's terrible. It's like, no,
but they don't understand. You know what they don't understand? The people that are like, how dare you? I go, the hours of instruction that have been lost in the classroom this year.
And the stress you put on your teachers.
Not mine. You talk to every one of this teacher. This kid is constantly causing problems.
Yeah.
So if this is the one thing that at least he'll just sit there like this and just bear out every period, and so be it. I mean, you got to start somewhere. And all those people that want to go be like, blah, 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 you got to be empathetic. Good luck. How about you try? You're going to see all those people after one day just, I just can't do it. You know, I just feel that they need more support, and I'm not gifted enough to truly reach. No, you just didn't. You're quitting.
Yeah.
No, because they can't. They can't deal with that. That's the crazy thing. Is it's like people don't. There's all kinds of theories about raising kids, but it's like until you're actually around them. That's why, like, even the stuff I'm learning in college, it's like. Yesterday in the college class, they were talking about discipline and everything. And one of the people is going to become a middle school teacher. And the girl was like, you know, she goes, I have dealt with they were talking about microaggressions in the class.
Yeah.
And there was one girl, she goes, and this is like a girl probably in like her 20s or whatever. She goes, some of the things that I have heard growing up, I am a quarter Asian, and somebody said, aren't you smart because you're Asian? And she almost like started crying, and she was like, I can't believe somebody would say that to me. And she goes, and I go, you're going to go teach middle school?
Yes.
Good
like
luck.
You are going to get ripped apart like a piñata.
Like they're going to tear you
like
apart.
You got a soft spirit. Like, because middle schoolers, dude, there's like 2 white kids in my school probably.
Yeah.
And it's like, they do not give I'm trying to not cuss.
Nothing.
They don't care about microaggressions and all these. Like, that means nothing to them.
Yeah.
Like, you need to toughen up and learn how to. Like, you will not last. And they're encouraging it in the class.
Yeah,
and they're
absolutely.
like, yeah, absolutely. And then I'm like, you are training. This is bad training if you're going to go be a teacher, and you're not going to relate to these kids.
They're
like,
eat you up.
No, they're going to tear you up.
Eat you
They're
up.
going to ruin you.
You know what my boy did when his kid was acting up? He cut the Wi-Fi off, and the kid went crazy.
Yeah, he's like,
no Wi-Fi.
Like a drug.
Yeah, he cut the Wi-Fi out. He couldn't play
it's like
PlayStation.
detoxing from cocaine.
Yes, he couldn't take it. He cut the whole Wi-Fi off, and he said the kid went crazy and never act bad again. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
They can't play PlayStation. They can't watch TV. You know
That's
what I'm
like
saying?
air.
You can't use the phone. You see what I'm saying?
Because, dude, they grew up with that. We
Yeah.
know what it was like without the internet. Dude, we grew up in like Nickelodeon, Bill Clinton, and like Pizza Lunchables.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was like dial-up to where you could get on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
We grew up on Napster, but they have no idea.
Oh my God.
So
What
just
it's like,
find
but-
the thing that causes,
The pain point.
Yeah, it's like, and people go, oh well, if it's not pain, then I go, then what's the alternative?
Mm-hmm.
Because the alternative creates worse outcomes. So life is going to be painful now, or painful later.
Yeah.
And guess what? If we're not painful now, that kid, when they get into the world, what do you think?
I didn't do anything is not going to work.
Yeah,
it's
in
gonna
front
tear
of
him
a
up. It's gonna
judge,
eat him up. Yeah.
in front of a cop, in front of all this stuff.
These people who have no mercy.
Yeah, it's like, why does jails and prison? It's an adult timeout.
Absolutely.
Because literally,
That's exactly what it is.
you are
get to go play with your
such
ball
a
at recess.
detriment to society that we have to put you in a cell.
Yeah.
Think of that for a second. That person cannot regulate their own behavior to that point.
Absolutely.
Because of positive intervention, like whatever. I mean, bad parenting. There's a million things you could say. It's
Positive
chemical.
intervention is actually just
sometimes it is,
cover-
but it's a lot of times, dude. I mean, here's the thing. I have met kids that have awesome parents, and the kid's still screwed up. So it's not always parents.
Yeah. I had a,
Yes,
I had
but,
a homie like
but
that.
at the same time, when you say like, they're awesome parents, are they just awesome in how they present their image to you?
Yes, because right as you started thinking about that, I did start to see. Because here's the thing. What is awesome parenting? Because you can be really nice, but if you're nice to your kid all the time, maybe you're too buddy-buddy with them, and like you're too friendly with them.
But you could be a good parent, but it depends who the kid's around, who they hanging around too. I mean, your peers.
There's
mean
a lot of
everything.
factors, I think, but it's I
have friends.
I don't know.
I had
I
a
don't have
homeboy.
kids.
His mom's a teacher, okay, and his dad was a lawyer. great parents. And his mom was cool because his mom worked at the school. And he was a nerd. He would like say words like encyclopedia. He was super smart, say a lot of big words. He decides he wants to gangbang because he's like, I'm tired of being smart. I'm not cool. I'm not getting noticed. So he wanted to gangbang. Make a long story short, he hung around with the wrong person at the wrong time. At 18 years old, this dude decides he wants to rob a cab driver, shoots the cab driver in the head, his friend. Now this dude...
He shoots his friend?
No, shoots the cab driver.
Right?
His friend shoots the cab driver. So since he's in a car, he has to do time too at the same time. So he ended up doing time in jail at 17 years old.
How is he out?
He's out now, yeah. I think
How
he got
long?
out like maybe 15 years or something like that.
He served 15 years.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
For just being wrong place, wrong time.
But I'm not saying it's just insane how you're guilty by association.
Absolutely.
You are, and that's what I like. Even
Yeah.
sometimes, I don't think kids even understand that at an early age because when they're doing something and then it's you just see
think it's
confetti
okay.
go everywhere.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, hey, you're all in trouble. It's
Yeah.
like, I didn't do anything. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, I just saw you all over there. So
Absolutely.
and that's the way that the courtroom operates.
Yeah. And that's why you got to be so strict with your kids and just say what it is. You know, this could happen.
Dude,
Because
my
I think when
parents-
kids have too much freedom, they do what they want to do. That's why you got kids that's bad because they got too much freedom at home. So if they get freedom at home, of course they're going to do it at school.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But there's no rules of saying, okay, this is right, this is wrong. But then they go to school, they're like, well, I'm going to do whatever because I don't know what's right and what's wrong. You do know common sense what's right and wrong, but it's a high to do whatever you want to do because you can't.
You want to be an adult when you're a kid. That's
Yeah.
that's the vape that you smoke from.
Yeah.
Is the vape of this freedom of what you think freedom is, and then you get freedom and it sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like the scene in Braveheart where you scream it out. Once you really fully get your freedom, you're a little more tired.
Yeah, and
You're like, oh, I'm out of school now, and it's like, and now I feel pressured to get married and live this life, and it's like, and then it's another form of servitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and freedom. Freedom requires an extreme amount of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, the people.
People don't want choices. That's why In-N-Out is so good. Is because there's only so much on the menu.
It's actually amazing how much I think people don't even want. They don't even want freedom.
No, they don't want a lot of choices because people get overwhelmed because it's like, what do I do? Who do I become? Just tell me what to like. I think sometimes, a lot of times, that's very true.
And
choice is a burden for a lot of people.
People also just want somebody else to take care of them. Nobody come on. Well, if you had a choice between the government giving you your salary every month and you do nothing and you sit at home and chill or go to work, we're all going to try to get as much money as we can. I mean, you can't blame people for wanting to sit on their butt and not work and just collect a paycheck.
That's Social Security.
Dude, when they were giving out that money during the pandemic to everybody, that
that's
was
when I knew. I was like, yeah, man. When I saw,
I was actually still doing
everybody's
stuff.
getting money off. What was that? What was that called again? That big check.
Emergency relief
the
fund.
stimulus.
It's stimulus. They get $20,000. I know a girl got $100,000.
Yeah, from the loan.
Yeah.
And I don't think they had to pay it back.
No, but there's a lot of people got locked up because they were trying to say that they had this and had that, and they was getting $1 million.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, they got
They're
locked up.
money out like that. That's crazy.
A lot of people get a lot of time for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, to kind of wrap up that, you got to find a meaningful consequence. And every kid is going to be different.
Absolutely.
Every kid's going to respond. You could have two kids in the same household and they respond differently.
That's it.
So you can't just throw a blanket, across or whatever. But man, finding that, hey, there's a kid in my class. He doesn't mind also 30 minutes, doesn't care. Mm-hmm. You know what he cares about? That you make a phone call home.
Ooh.
Yeah. And some of the kids too. It's weird though too because there are kids who do act up and they do freak out when you call home, but it doesn't really change anything. But they do get scared. They plead with you not to call home. But then I'm like, why do you care that I call home when it doesn't really change anything?
That's a perfect example, guys. 99% of the time when you have a kid that acts up, 90%, not 99 is a bit too much. When you have to call home, that behavior is not going to change because guess who's been calling home? Every single one of their teachers since kindergarten.
Yeah.
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 And nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
sad.
there's no consequence.
Yeah.
But let's finish up this Bible study. We're breaking apart the scripture of Google. I almost said the name of the school. I'm not going to say that because I know. Yeah. I was almost like, yeah, because this is your
possibility.
This is the possibility for you to work with them. The school needs to be better. I feel so sad for teachers that have a hard time teaching the students because of their behavior. These students come here because this school is ghetto. Okay, we already did that. A lot of fights, so they come here. Don't look in nobody's eyes that you don't know because they will beat you up if you stare too long.
Oh my God.
Don't look in nobody's eyes that you don't know.
Wow.
Because they will beat you up if you stare too long.
That school is rough.
Is this school in New York? It is New York stuff. In New York, you literally cannot look in nobody in the eyes in New York. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's what you can't do with celebrities. You know what I mean? If you do give them only red Skittles or blue Skittles and don't look at them in the eye.
That's woo.
Don't look in nobody's eyes that you don't know because they will beat you up if you stare too long. Even the way it's worded. That's a rough school. The staff is not doing anything.
That sounds like someone's describing a prison.
Yeah.
Dude,
don't look in nobody's eyes.
So long.
Yeah, it's like, don't look in nobody's eyes. If you stare too long, they'll give you a rough thing. Just give them your mashed potatoes and keep walking.
Yeah.
Dude, what's wild though, and everybody always says this, how schools and prisons are designed the same way, and that is true.
You know, they say
some of
that
these schools look like prisons.
But they say that, but it's also like I understand.
It's cost-effective architecture.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Church basements all look the same. There's no conspiracy there.
But have you seen how they build schools now? Is they'll build it so there's almost like guard towers so that you can stay and watch from up above and have a bird's eye view of everything that's going on on the yard.
Yeah.
But it's because they have to do it. If they don't, the amount of stuff that you're going to miss or whatever.
That's so true.
That's crazy.
But anyway.
No, the similarities are, you do have to admit, they are kind of astonishing, though.
That and a mental health facility.
Yeah. Everything where somebody has to be locked up for inordinate amounts of time.
Yeah.
The staff is not doing anything but yelling at these kids. These students don't care if you yell at them. You need to teach your students that this is not the school we do any of these things in. Even the principal said, I will shut down this school if it has another fight. They cannot deal with this stuff. The principal does not have the authority.
You know what that's the equivalent? Losing it, yeah.
You know what that's the equivalent of? Is the dad when you're halfway to Florida on vacation. He's like, I'll turn this car around. Exactly. And it's like hell you will.
Exactly.
You took 2 weeks off work.
Exactly.
You're not. I will shut this school down.
That's bad. The principal is frustrated.
That's some dad energy.
Exactly. This is going down. Yeah.
I will shut down the school fast enough. They cannot deal with this stuff. That's why they don't bother to do anything but suspend students for 2 days without fixing the problem or fixing with these students that are bad or fixing the fact that these students, including me, cannot learn.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel bad for this kid because this is a good kid.
Yeah,
they never do anything about this awful school, and I really hope they step up their game to not be afraid of these students. This school is about the baddest or meanest people, the most fights girl or boy, prayers for, and then it says like that's a mic drop.
Wow. Boom. Wow.
Yeah, prayers for, I want to say the name of the school because it hits harder if you say it.
Wow, I can't say it.
Dude, thank you for showing that to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's
that's what we do to go in there and try to help this type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's your job, dude.
Yeah.
And it's a tough job, I feel like, with after school because it's like they want to go home and now you have to like
to deal with everything that happened at school earlier.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? The drama, the bullying, I got to deal with that later.
100%.
Yeah. So it makes it really tough. Then we got to just kind of counsel them, take their mind somewhere else. So it's a lot of work.
100%, dude. I was really exhausted when I worked with you in the after school programs. It was like I started getting really tired too.
You were telling me like, I'm tired, bro. I want to go home. Look, speaking of reviews, how would y'all feel if y'all went to y'all school and they gave y'all a bad review?
Oh, dude, I bet that
my school or me?
It was like
school, no, the kid like this happened.
Don't take Mr. Dunham's math class. He's an idiot.
I'd be like, thank you. It's one less kid that I have in the class.
Dude, it feels
funny, yo. Yeah,
it feels hard. I was talking the other day because I think it's it feels really hard to teach 40 kids. That's the thing that's
a lot.
tough. Because even the kids that want to learn, there's kids who are really interested in acting.
Yeah.
And I know I could teach them deep stuff, but then there's the kid who can't like sit down with a sheepdog haircut, running back and forth.
Exactly.
It's always that haircut. The
Yeah,
haircut where it's like the bowl cut, like touching the top of the lip.
Oh my God.
There's
And
an
that
actual
kid-
name. There's a name for it.
What?
I forgot exactly.
I mean, I just call him a sheepdog.
The Edgar. Yeah, the Edgar.
Edgar.
The Edgar haircut.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought
Oh
that
my
was
God.
just. I thought that was just a Hispanic thing, like where it's like, so the Edgar is where it touches your lip, almost, where you just have like all around.
Yeah, this thing right here.
You look like the Beatles in the
I wish you-
'60s
I
or the '50s. Was
I
it?
wish you could edit that in this show.
What, pictures of it?
A picture of it, yeah.
Dude,
That'd
yeah.
be kind of cool.
I think it would be awesome because
something
everybody
like
knows what
this.
we're talking about. Yeah, that kid is always. Yeah, that kid is.
Anyone with an
Wow.
Edgar haircut is always up to no good. They're the
Wow.
ones
Dude,
always
that
wearing
looks like a
all
bad
black
kid,
Air
yeah.
Force Ones.
All black Air Force Ones, all black shirt. Dude, there's a kid. I want to say his name so much because the name is even weird. Like, and
wow.
it's not weird for just like American. Like, I've never heard this name. Period.
Really?
It was his parents mashed two names together, two very basic. I can't say it because
that's
the
horrible.
most basic names, but mashed them together. And I've never heard that. And he is Latin, but it's not a Latin name. It's just it's
Together,
two very
just smashed.
American names just in a car crash in a head-on collision with each other.
Do they tease him with the name or just
No, because no, they don't. It's just
he looks like his name? is what
he
you're
looks like
trying
his.
to say. I was trying to say he looks like his name.
It's a car crash
Yeah,
name.
exactly.
but I like the kid. I have no problem. The other day I tried to like level with him. I go, dude, you're the most hyper kid that I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
And then he goes, and then just like went back to running around the room. Like I thought I was having like a human moment where I like punched
he just
through
kept
and connected
going.
with him.
No.
And he just goes, and then just like went back to
Yeah.
running back and forth. I was like,
That's so funny.
you're taller than me. Why am I not allowed to uppercut you by law? Like,
But
but
these kids are tall nowadays too.
dude, did they get taller?
Yeah, I think kids are
What
way
is
taller
it?
now.
Is it the Lunchables? Is it the vaccines? Like,
That's a good question. I think 'cause some kids start playing sports early. That's one reason.
Yeah.
And some of these kids got big family members, tall dads and stuff like that too.
yeah, I don't know what it is,
family.
dude. I mean, I was the size of a pocket watch.
Yeah.
I still am, but like back then, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like the fan could blow me into the street.
That's funny.
Like I was small.
Really? Yeah.
I was
can see that.
really little, dude. Really, really little.
Hey, Chris, how tall are you? Like what? 6 feet?
I'm 6 feet. I'm actually 5'11" and I think 3/4 now. But back in the day I was like 6 feet.
6
You
feet.
so you shrunk.
Yeah, dude, I'm 46 years old. You start shrinking by the time you're. I think you start losing testosterone when you're 30, and you start losing an average of an inch in height once you hit 40 per decade.
My uncle has short.
So I'm gonna turn into Danny DeVito by the time I'm 70.
Bro, you're gonna be.
I'm gonna
you
I'm
are
gonna be able to
a
see over that
pocket
table. I'm literally gonna be able to get
I got
half price
uncle.
appetizers at Applebee's.
I got an uncle that's short. He was tall. He got short. I'm like, because his back, he's bent up like this now.
Yeah, I'm all like now, like I'm all like, you know the people who sit like that and they just make everyone think that they're a jerk.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go with the jerk posture. But yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, here it is. Ready, guys? Just for height, most men will lose a minimum of 2 inches in height over the course of their life.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm 5'6". I guess I'll go down to 5'4". You know, I mean, it's like by that time, hopefully this podcast is bumping. We have a ton of money, and women won't care anymore.
It won't matter no more.
I'll be like, yeah, go date that 6 foot tall dude. He's broke. You know,
Dude, you'll be like
don't date him. He's broke.
You'll be like Andy Dick. Andy Dick was tiny, but all of his girlfriends were like 5'10", Norwegian.
Don't say I'm
Yo,
never gonna be like Andy Dick ever again.
I-
Your future is Andy Dick.
I have a homeboy
I like
like
Andy
that.
Dick too.
I have a homeboy. He's
I like
like
him.
5'3", but he dates girls 6 feet, 5'11". He loves tall girls. It's like,
Dude, I've dated tall chicks before
yeah,
too.
See, you show guys, it's a competition. Do y'all feel good when y'all can get a tall girl?
Well, yeah,
right?
it's like Highlander. Remember when he
Yeah.
cut someone's head off and then he just feels good about himself? Like
yeah.
every tall girl, it's like a Pokemon I collect.
Yeah. I've seen
You
you
know
with
what I
tall
mean?
girls before too. He's confident too. Like, hey, what's up, guys? You good? Hey, come on, come on, girl. Right
Yeah,
here.
dude. Most of my girlfriends have been taller than me, but like I've always, I've dated a handful of tall girls that were like close to 6 feet, and it was like funny. But like people also like they try to act like it was normal, but it's like, you know, when somebody comes with like they have like their eyebrow pierced and their lip pierced, and then there's a chain that connects it. Like they looked at me a little bit like that. Like they had to do like a double take. Like, what was that thing I just saw out of the corner of my eye?
That's funny.
You know?
That's funny.
But I guess the lesson in all of this, though, is dealing with like these kids is it's yeah, you just said in the back. Yeah, not FTK. I think the thing, sometimes you do feel like that, but I think the thing that really, it's interesting because on TikTok people have been connecting as we tell like these stories about like how we're losing our minds around kids, and people are like literally coming up to us like it's a Catholic confessional and be like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, you have no idea what this does for me. It's like a 12-step group almost.
Yeah, it's like it's a connection because it's, you know, everybody experienced the same thing.
You're right. We were all kids,
over.
and that was hard. And then when you bring kids back into the world, either through being a parent or through just being a teacher, it's like you re-experience the pain, but now it's because you're tired and you just want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's what the rest of your life is. If you have kids in your life, is the alarm clock going off and a pillow hitting you in the face. Hitting you in the face and being like, you just want a good night's sleep.
Absolutely.
That's what growing up is like, remember when I used to get a good night's sleep?
Yeah, and you know, also as raising kids, it does suck because nothing is ever going to be perfect as far as your age.
Yeah.
But man, you could see why it is better to have kids when you're young.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%,
oh my
dude.
God,
Absolutely.
man. Like, I'm 46.
Absolutely.
I'm about to be 47 in August. For me to have a kid at this age, my wife, if I had a wife, right, she would have to be an angel sent from heaven because I'm just tired.
Yeah. I commend people that
I
do
don't know
that
if I
because
could
I have
teach.
like some of my instructors, they deal with so many kids, but they have kids on their own.
That's why Al Pacino's a hero. He just had another one at 70.
Oh, yeah.
But he's paying someone to take care of that kid.
Yeah,
I
100%.
want to write a book about that. Like, how'd you do it? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. He doesn't have the energy to chase his kid around.
Nah. But I heard he still parties. He still has fun.
Dude, so
Yeah.
super, this has nothing to do with teaching, but before I was teaching, I was valeting cars, and I parked tons of famous people's cars.
Yeah.
It's a funny flex to be like, yeah, Al Pacino parked his car. Didn't do a movie with him. But I parked Al Pacino's car, wadded up cough drop wrappers all through the car.
What happened?
Crushed up cough drop wrappers.
Oh, really?
I think it was a Range Rover, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Okay.
just empty cough drop wrappers all through his car. It's just funny because he said he parties hard.
His voice. That's probably why. Yeah.
Michael Bolton had crushed up energy drinks. He had a. Hopefully, I'm violating confidentiality when I'm talking about like kids in my class by saying their name. But I don't know if there's a valet confidentiality. I don't remember if I signed something or not. Sorry, Al. Sorry, Michael
It's a
Bolton.
long time ago anyway, so.
Yeah, they're not gonna remember me anyways. They're not watching this podcast, but they will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's a great way. I'm tired now. Speaking of being tired, it's time for us to go to bed.
We can close it out.
Let's go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because we're teachers here. It's just like, all right, clear.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, clear.
All right, guys. Bye.
Peace out.
See ya.
Yo.